Good afternoon from Yummy Bay TV. Wishing you all well, sending plenty of love your way. As usual, hoping your day is going the best it possibly can so far. Now, a selection of videos coming up in the next hour or so. One about Jason Moore, recent events going down there. I'll break that down categorically to you today. Right, now this first video revolves around overnight. Inundated with messages about whether Uncle Billy Moore is talking about me during his recent two videos, right? I'll break it down in the best way possible, right? But let me give you a couple of two scenarios, how I relate this kind of topic and subjects, if you like, from a prison environment, namely, of course, the category A's. Now, once upon a time, right, there was Slaney, Kevin Lane, Tony Argent, John Gray, amongst even probably Massey as well. And the geezer was in the kitchen first thing in the morning. He was talking to another guy, right? Now, everybody's leaning on the railings, as we do in the K's, right? Everybody's got their own stuff to deal with. What about him up there? What about this bit? What about her outside? And all that kind of stuff going on in people's mind. Early morning, the real hardcore paratroopers, the SAS, the who dares wins, they're up at the crack of dawn, ready to face another day. So the geezer walks out with the geezer out the kitchen. He turns round to him, right, in full voice, so that everybody could hear, including me. And he says to the geezer, oh, they're all just a bunch of killers, man. Look, what did they do? They weren't nothing and blah, 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 blah. Right. So he's having a conversation with another man, but everybody's listening. Everybody started to turn around and think that that conversation meant that there's a possibility that they were talking about whoever was in the crowd, because everybody's got their own thoughts and feelings in the category A's, right? So imagine Tony Argent, Kevin Lane, Slaney, John Gray, and whoever else was there that morning, plus me, right? Thinking, are they talking about me? You better not be talking, imagine John Gray, they better not be talking about me. Slaney, imagine that, yeah. Is he throwing down the gauntlet? Who's he talking about? Why? Because they might feel something that believes or makes them feel the stuff they feel about themselves, that maybe that person could be talking about them. But the likelihood with me standing there is that I'm thinking you could never, ever be talking about those guys there in full view so that they would be listening. I used to do it. I used to throw little words out on the landings, but another particular incident this time, right? Everybody else who I've talked about in the MBT are standing there. There's a geezer that likes to throw words around the landing, right? Yeah, then my pussy, he's a mug, he's not all that, yeah, this and that and that and that. But you only hear fleeting little snippets because you're not involved in the conversation. You're just listening, yeah? So on this day, I turned around and I said, yeah, man, them geezers, all they are is woman killers. Everyone else that was standing there weren't lady killers, right? So you know that if I say that, the only person that is in that crowd, if I'm going to get you paranoid by talking in the way, throwing out loud words so everybody can hear, because there's a meaning behind the method, if you get what I mean. And many men do it. It's silly, really, right? You're the only one that is inside for being a lady killer. So he must believe in his heart of hearts that it adds the percentages up a little bit higher because everybody else ain't, and you are. And me and you have got some stuff going on that maybe the others don't know about. Yeah? So he starts to get a little bit, is he talking about me? Yeah, I was talking about you. Yeah, right? So it's really funny because when you say certain things around certain men, Tony Argent, Slaney, Kevin Lane, Gary Nelson, John Gray, you know, all the people we talk about, Massey, everyone that ever existed, Sam Cole, they're going to think, well, hold on a minute. Is he trying to refer to me? It's a paranoid world. It's a paranoid environment, right? I always believe when certain people, if you said it about me, right, and you said, yeah, man, it's something to do with drugs, and yeah, he's talking to this one, that, you know, you've given me a clue as to when you're talking that loud talk, because why not whisper it to the person you're talking to? Or maybe they're just coming out at the right time or the wrong time where they're talking, and it just so happens that everyone's standing around listening, because that's what they do in the category A's. A lot of men, because they're up for the crack of dawn, right? They know it's an endless fight. It could come from anywhere. Survival of the fittest and the strongest. So you imagine Tony Argent, right? Tony Argent, he better not be talking to me, mate. Kevin Lane, if he thinks that he's fucking, you know what I mean? Then one of them, Slaney, whoever, turn up and say to you, right? Turn up and say, listen, mate, are you talking to me? But sometimes it's a bit far-fetched, because when people are talking, you're thinking, well, why not just address me or give me a deliberate clue so I know conclusively that you're talking about me, right? So a little breakdown there about the paranoia. Many of you lot will know what I'm talking about when we're in prison. Those that don't, it's the kind of games that can go on. But some men ain't really playing that game, right? I was good at it, right? But I made sure that whoever was standing around, the intelligence levels, I'm thinking only you alone will know who I'm talking about, because the rest, with what I'm saying in the sentences that I'm saying it can't be referring to you. You see what I mean? So you can do that, because you know the men that I talk about, I would know if they've got the emotional intelligence to be able to join the dots and think, yeah, he ain't talking about me. Got me? Yeah, Tony Argent will come up and break this down to you one day, right? About the scenarios and the paranoia and the psychological warfare that goes on with certain people when they're carrying feelings about certain things, right? So, we get at those questions you're asking me. You're asking me if Billy Moore is talking about me. Storytelling, tompepper, loads of blaggers on YouTube and blah, 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 blah. Look. I'll break it down to you as conclusively as this, yeah? I stand by. Certain channels out there are being on record and being video recorded while saying it, that they are living no good scumbags, right? Couple of reasons for two of those channels, Raw, BZ, and this one and that one, is that you don't show your face. Why? Because you can't, because all the stuff you're talking and nobody knows your story and what you're about and all that. You have to hide behind a screen to go and make your money and try and make a name of other people's basic mistakes, so to speak, so that you can build up your own channels and all that. We've already gone through that. We know that you're not worth the paper that it's written on. Right, a couple of others like to mimic people, catch them out in certain interviews and podcasts and find this funny and taking a piss out of them. After all, you are not showing your face either, yeah? Or letting the world know about your story. We've gone over that. Billy Moore comes out, you're asking me, Yummy, I'm hearing through the grapevine, he's talking about you, right? So I sent a message to Billy Moore. He ain't answered yet, but he will do, because I don't believe Billy Moore's talking about me, because in history, if Billy Moore's got anything he wants to say to me, he's got my number, and he will ring me and he will tell me, because Billy's straight up and down. All right, so I have to conclude that I believe that Billy Moore is not talking about me. But hey, many of you say, yeah, but Yummy, it could be this, it could be that, could be that. You might be shit stirring, as Miss Muffet said last night, right? So I won't get drawn into it. But Billy Moore, look, Uncle Billy will probably have the ump with certain things. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and certain people are coming out and saying this and that. I'm hearing that certain channels that I was kind of speaking up for have been letting people talk bad about me. Neved, you know what I'm talking about, right? Not that it really bothers me, right? All it means is that if you did, and I've got the proof that you did, then you're out too, right? Don't try and contact me again, because I will come up here and I will bury you in the sand. And furthermore, I'll put it on record today that lovely lady, Kenzie, right? Yeah, she is related to me in some kind of way. So I stand by her in her certain things that goes on YouTube and certain social media, and ladies get wrapped up in certain things, and they like someone 1 minute, they think someone's all right, you know, they fall foul that they wasn't after all, and then they start using them and start battering them from pillar to post and all that. I stand by it, yeah. Kenzie, Kelly Davis, they were my girls, yeah, and Kenzie has some kind of relation. Yeah, look, Billy Moore just messaged me. Ah! Billy Moore just messaged me. I told ya, didn't I? Billy Moore is not like that, Uncle Billy. Billy will say to me, yeah, man, I've got a problem with you. I'll come and tell you. Because I know. I looked at all my videos over a number of times, right? And I know what I score from 85 to 90%, which is a good ratio with my journey. Addiction, demons, crime-free, new life, new dawn, new day, right? Listen. I know a lot of you know that my percentage rate on getting it right with my stories and the things that I say, that no certain people squirm behind the scenes, they won't dare go there. Uncle Yami will on Yami BTV. Frenchie rang me the other day and he said, you know what I love about you, Yami? You tread where no man tread before. You lay it out because it's the truth. Loads of times we've said a few percentages that are people pleased. Yeah? And that I thought, you know, I wasn't quite right-minded. Making no excuses for myself. I took those videos down. If I make a mistake, you lot know me inside out. He can't be talking about me. Because Billy Moore is on record for saying that with Yami, with all that experience and stories, if I was there, I'll tell you. If I wasn't there, I wasn't. If somebody else said it, I'll put it up there. If I got it wrong, I'll take it down. Billy Moore's not talking about, well said, Miss Muffet. And that message there that I'm going to look at in a minute just proves it while I'm doing this video, right? So I'm just saying, right? I stand by what I say about certain other channels. I don't really mince around with words. I don't really hold back and throw the cat amongst the pigeons without really making it known who I'm talking about. Uncle Billy's a bit more, he could be a bit more better than me. He's more soft-hearted Billy, and he's been, he's doing a bit better than me spiritually, mentally, outside those walls that he faced before during his journey. So he's at a different stage to me. So Billy might not want to come out and go, right, you. But Billy, I say, will know in his own head, and he will think that they know who he's talking about. I've done it before. The only difference is now I'll make it rather a bit more conclusive, right? So Billy Moore, he's got his stuff going on, and Uncle Yami was right about this now. That message just proves it, right? I'll put it up on the screen if you want it, right? But I don't need to, because I know Uncle Billy is not chatting about me, all right? See you all shortly.